Welcome, everyone, to Inclusion on the Slopes Weekly. I am your co-host, Winter Jackson, alongside Dr. Davis, and I am here in this stylish Christy Parka, which is actually Dr. Davis's. But we are here talking about inclusion is right next door. Yeah, so Dr. Davis, what is inclusion is right next door? So yes, thank you so much, Winter, for that introduction, and you look very stylish in my Christy Parka that I received from Eric Tung of Fair Style. But yeah, so I interviewed my neighbor, and we just had this awesome connection, and so she's on today's
Well, Dr.
segment.
Davis, do you just randomly talk to random strangers? I mean, you're such an extrovert, yo.
No, actually, interesting enough, I'm an ambivert. So I'm a little bit of both. I like my time to myself. But I think what's so great about this interview is that we talk about what it means to have human connection, and we also talk about her snowboarding experience. Hello, everyone. As I mentioned on my previous vlog, I was going to reach out to my neighbor, Tina, who's here with me today. And I wanted to just display like how inclusion happens organically and how you can foster inclusion just in the simplest and most simplest ways. I think I met Tina because I held the door open for her.
I saw her holding groceries or Christmas decorations.
Yes, I had Christmas decorations.
And I saw you in athletic wear. Mm-hmm. And I think that's when I bonded. I was like, oh, this girl likes to be fit. This is great.
Yes.
And then I waited until you were on my floor to be asking you, where are you from? How long are you staying?
Oh, yeah. And it was so organic. Like, it was just like, oh, okay. And then we found out we were both from the Midwest. Mm-hmm. I went to IU for undergrad. She went to Purdue. And then it was like, oh my gosh, this is like, I know, Hoosiers. By the way. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And at the time, I was like, because ironically enough, I was at this point where I'm like, okay, I've been under quarantine, by the way, because I live in like an area where I've just been staying to myself because all my family. So, I don't have COVID, just disclaimer.
Yeah. Also
and
did a test.
She has a negative test. So just in case you're wondering why we're in close proximity, I never left quarantine.
We're in the quarantine squad pod.
Yes, we are. Because I still get my food delivered, and I only leave and I only go with myself. So to be honest, I haven't really been exposed to the public like that. So at any rate, I wanted to invite her to be on this vlog because I feel like it's so important for us to see how inclusion happens organically. Yeah. And then more specifically to concentrate on inclusion on the slopes because we talked about this idea of getting out in the mountain and we talked about like skiing and of course I informed her, I informed Tina what I do for a living and that happened after like Thanksgiving dinner. Like we had a pre-Thanksgiving dinner. So yeah, tell me a little bit about like how, like what was your thoughts on our interaction and how we met?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was very natural. I think immediately you just know if you get along with someone, especially when we're standing in the hallway with our masks on, talking for 25 minutes with your hands full. So I think that was a good sign. Yeah. And knowing, I mean, within that time frame, we already knew each other's alma mater. Mm-hmm. I think we talked about family. We talked about travel. Yeah. I think there's just a lot of commonalities that we figured out. Yeah. And what are the chances you come to the same city and we end up only being from a state apart?
Right. Oh my gosh.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah, it is pretty rare. And so with that, like, so what made you decide like, hey, like come over for Thanksgiving or come over for Thanksgiving?
Well, I love meeting people, and Colorado specifically has been great. It's filled with transplants, as we're obviously two people that are, and because they're so friendly, I think it doesn't make you feel as awkward to hold a longer conversation. Right. You have to experience it when you're here to do it. And there are people that come from the East Coast. I have friends here from the East Coast. They just did not get used to it. They just didn't understand how someone that's a barista isn't just asking you what you need, but really like, how's your day? But truly listening and going farther. So I think when we figured out we were neighbors for a while and we were both here for the Thanksgiving holiday and we weren't going to be with family. Yeah. I guess we just chose each other to be family.
Yeah. So I was so excited. I think I even got dressed up and you were like, I was like, I told my brother, I was like, oh, my neighbor Tina. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going over there for pre-Thanksgiving. I'm so excited. I'm making friends because I'm a social butterfly by nature. And I've kind of been out of my realm because I've been so focused on inclusion on the slopes. But now it's like, okay, I got to get back out. And so that was
Yeah.
really like awesome for me. That was like a tipping point where I'm like, okay, Geraldine, it's time to be the social butterfly.
Well, when you told me about your job, I work for a company as well that's very inclusive and had actually just had a conversation about wealth inequality. And I think that's what we even had Thanksgiving dinner conversations, very serious ones that were really helpful and things that I learned that I would never have if I had not met you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
Yeah. So tell me about, as I mentioned, of course, Inclusion on the Slopes is my business, and the framework is really just to try to help bring awareness to people that
We need to.
that the mountain experience, first of all, is beyond amazing. It is the most amazing thing in your experience, and that there are people that are experiencing it in an organic way. So tell me about your journey when it comes to like winter sports and just getting out.
I'd say I'm pretty athletic, but they've been odd sports. When I was a kid, our family went on ski trips here and there. I never took lessons, and I think that was a bad idea. I think I told you so. The first time I went, I must have been less than a teenager, and we're out there. I have a younger brother. We were on our skis, and all they were teaching us was the pizza. You just have to remember how to stop by making a pizza.
Yeah.
And as they're telling us this girl's just whipping down the slopes, and she runs into a tree. So here we are as kids. They're saying, "Let's go on the mountain," and you would think that nowadays I see little kids and they're fearless,
gosh, so fearless.
I'm hoping that they took lessons because that truly helped. So I had a big gap after I was not even a teenager. That was the first couple times I skied. Hadn't been on the slopes at all until high school, maybe. No, actually 3 years ago. Not even that. College, post-college. I took a lesson because we had a girl ski trip at Breckenridge.
Nice.
And they all ski. But I, for some reason, thought snowboarding is just so much cooler. And I envisioned what I would look like.
Yeah. I've seen like the outfits and stuff, and I'm like, okay, that looks really dope.
Yeah.
Like, even I don't even have to get on a snowboard. Actually, I'm okay with skiing. I like skiing. But I was like, even if I could just get on a snowboard and just wear the outfit and just look like, okay, hey, I'm in the scene.
Yeah. I tried skateboarding, wasn't my deal. So I figured maybe on snow.
Yeah.
And I took lessons that weekend. So the girls went skiing. Nice. I did lessons. It was 2 days. And by the end of the second day, I was able to go down the small green mountain without falling.
Oh, yay.
I looked a little wobbly. Someone took a video. And then since then, I had not been on the slopes.
Oh, wow.
And it's been 3 years. So in the summer here, it's COVID. You still want to do stuff. And in Colorado, you have so many opportunities. And one of them was indoor lessons. Not many people know that exists.
Yeah. I mean, I found out through you. Yeah. Like, I didn't even know it existed. And I'm just like, hold on. Like, I've been like deep diving into research on the slopes and the experience for like the last 4 years. I'm like, how did I not know that? But as soon as you told me, I was like, okay, hold on. Yeah. I need to like go like ASAP. I think I went like that next week after you told me and was like, okay, I got to go.
I mean, it's a great option because you don't have to be in all your gear necessarily, like your jackets. You're indoor, COVID friendly, of course. It's a one-on-one lesson. It's shorter and it's not cold.
Yes.
So
several differentiations, by the way.
Yes, there's a lot. And for those of you that don't know, like, how do you do it indoors? I just explained that it's essentially a treadmill, like a carpet treadmill that is very wide and it's got hydraulics. And the instructor can stop it at any point in time. So you don't have to fear really falling because they'll stop it before you do.
And there's a bar.
Oh, yes.
Emphasis.
Not a drinking bar.
No, like a bar.
Well, they do have a drinking bar.
Yeah, they do. But a bar to hold on to. Like,
yes.
If you get, because I went and ironically, my instructor was like, I caught on really well. Like, that's the thing. Like, once I get in the rhythm and I understand the kinesthetics and how I move my body, and which I already understood fully, it's like I just need to get my body back in the rhythm. And so, by the end of it, I was like, okay, I was starting to expand out of my pizza again. Like, I feel like I was like, okay, I'm going back in time for my lessons. But that was awesome. So how long did you...
You're ahead of me. I had to take about 5-6 lessons. I was very rocky. I kept falling. Came back with bruises from the bars.
Okay.
But it was totally worth it.
So was that
And it was
snowboarding
short.
though, or
That
was
was
it
snowboarding.
okay?
Yep.
Hmm.
I knew I wanted to do snowboarding.
Yeah.
So I
Nice.
tried it out, and they give you the whole rental, so it's great, and you could test out the sizes because I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then after that, it snowed, so it
There
was
you go.
time.
Yeah.
I pulled the trigger and got the Epic Pass and
Nice.
decided to go because my friends were doing it too. You know,
Mhm.
some of it is peer pressure.
Yeah, it
and You
is.
don't want to be left out.
Exactly.
FOMO.
Yeah. It's no fun at
Yeah,
all.
and Thanksgiving Day was actually the first day I went. And
So let's check out Tina doing some snowboarding. OMG, well look at Tina. Look like those lessons paying off. Indoor snow park. Snowball.
I went, and
Amazing.
it took me quite a long time to get down the mountain. I
Mhm.
fell a lot, and I've now been 4 times,
Nice.
and now I fall because I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to actually look fearless and be fearless.
Yeah.
And, it's so much easier on the slopes when you're looking at someone
Mhm.
and you just copy them down the mountain.
Oh, that's exactly what I
Yeah.
did. I mean, I started when I took my lesson, I actually was watching my instructor. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, what is she doing? And then I saw these other people passing by me. I was like, hold on, they're just in a rhythm. And I started like trying to mimic their body. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, hold on, I see their body moving. I'm like, okay, all I need to do is just get my body like and just go into the flow. And so that was like really cool for me as
Yeah.
as I ended my lesson. It was like, okay, hold on.
I mean,
may
when we
have
were
it.
talking about inclusion, I think part of it is just being friendly. So one of the fears was I'm not as good as the people on these mountains.
Mhm.
I'm going to hit something because I can't dodge obstacles as much as other people can.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, I knocked into a girl, knocked her off of her skis, or onto the ground. She was the kindest person. It was
Mhm.
completely fine. And we had a
Yeah.
nice chit chat after we were sitting on the floor. Afterwards, I think I told you I saw a guy that also looked like he was training and
Yeah.
a little new. We were curving around up an edge.
Mhm.
And my option was, I'm going to hit you. I can either hit you and you might tip over, or I can hug you from behind and grab you with me.
I remember you telling me that.
I was like, I'm so sorry.
Nothing like a hug. Nothing like a hug
Yeah.
to practice inclusion.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, you're in face mask, your helmet,
Yeah.
you're in full gear.
Yeah.
But again, the same kindness. He just said, "Good luck. You've got this." This is very different than if you were to hit someone with your car.
Yes, that is a dramatic difference.
Yes.
But I think I love what you're mentioning though, because you're just talking about what it means to just be kind. Like, because
Yeah.
I even as I'm working with clients and or I'm interacting with people in general, they're like, okay, so what can I do to practice inclusion? What can I do? And it's like,
Mhm.
well, just be kind.
Yeah.
Like, if you're around someone and you're well aware that some may be, more well versed than others, but it's
Mhm.
like understanding to meet people where they are. So it sounds like that gentleman was willing to meet you where you were.
I think most people are genuinely interested in other people. They
Yeah.
may just not be the first one to initiate, which
Yeah.
we're clearly those people.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to do that more, even more than we do. But
Yeah.
I think it's possible. I think there was a study even for those that pre-COVID, when you're sitting on the airplane next to each other,
Mhm.
and they said over 60% of people actually want to be talked to. It's just
Mhm.
that they're afraid to say the first word.
Yeah.
So.